We're interrupting regular programming to bring you live coverage of the funeral for fallen New Haven firefighter Ricardo Torres Jr. Torres died a hero last Wednesday while responding to a fire in the city. And today, his fellow firefighters from New Haven and surrounding communities are remembering him. As you can see, there's a procession that has just started that is carrying Torres from the fire department to the church. It's underway right now. A lot of onlookers there on the sidewalk, and you can see the firefighters also saluting the fire truck as it passes. Now, a Catholic funeral mass will be taking place in just about 15-20 minutes. It's slated for 10 this morning at St. Mary Church on Hillhouse Avenue. And then following the service, Torres will be buried at Cedar Hill Cemetery in Hartford. Now we have Roger Suzanin, who has been live right outside the New Haven Fire Department headquarters on Grand Avenue all morning. Let's head out to him now and see what he's seeing. Roger?
Good morning, Nicole. You can see right now that New Haven firefighters are standing at attention as they salute Ricardo Torres one final time. As you mentioned, he died a hero. The fire truck carrying his body just passed, and the procession will begin to St. Mary's Church in just a moment here. I suppose this is what it looks like when you devote yourself and your life to something that is far greater than yourself. Last week, Ricardo Torres, whose loved ones called him Rico, died in a house fire on Valley Street trying to save others. He paid the ultimate price, and you can see a drum and fife corps is assembling right now along Olive Street. Let's listen in as they honor Rico Torres. That was the Pipes and Drums Corps from the FDNY. And now you can see a City of New Haven fire truck is driving by with the firefighters marching behind. It's a very solemn and emotional time for really the entire city of New Haven. And we mentioned that this procession is going to go on to St. Mary's Church, where a funeral mass will be said in Rico's honor. And then he will be taken to his final resting place in a cemetery in Hartford. And along that route, firefighters from all over the country are going to line every single overpass from the route from New Haven all the way up to Hartford in his final resting place. I'll let you listen now as the entirety of the New Haven Fire Department marches along Olive Street here in honor of Rico Torres. These hundreds of firefighters are honoring their fallen brother, Rico Torres. Thousands of firefighters from across the country will be part of celebrating his life today. We mentioned that this procession is going from here to St. Mary's Church, and then his body will be taken to a cemetery in Hartford. We're going to have streaming coverage throughout the day here on Channel 3 Eyewitness News, as it's obviously a very emotional day. Now, one thing I can tell you is there are still a lot of streets in downtown New Haven that are closed. Certainly go to the Channel 3 app to find out the exact ones that are impacted, as I believe these vehicles here are carrying some members of Rico Torres' family. Rico was a young father, just 30 years old. He had one little boy, and sadly, another child is on the way. We're told another little boy. Sadly, he'll obviously never get to know that child, never get to hold that child. I was talking with New Haven Mayor Justin Elicker earlier today, and he said that Rico's sacrifice is also the sacrifice of his family, and he has been in touch, of course, with the entire Torres family, and they are very proud, as you can imagine, today, but also in absolute agony, as this has just been a heartbreaking week for them and really the entire city of New Haven and the entire state of Connecticut. And Nicole, I'll send it back to you now as this procession is winding down here through downtown New Haven. I know at this point it must be getting closer to St. Mary's Church.